What's up, peeps? Today I'm bringing you an updated workshop tour, and that includes both me and Mr CCDIY, each building a few things. Plus, we're disassembling the very crooked, heavy, and super janky workbench. But hang in to see that thing become exactly what it was always meant to be. We got things started by measuring the individual pieces to see if Matt had enough to bring his vision to life. We talked it out, then had our first awkwardly long high five, and both got to work. This workbench is literally so janky and wonky and wobbly that this entire conversation was pretty much just me and Matt discussing which one of us was going to carry the weight and how we were going to do it. Awkwardly long high five.
Oh, it doesn't need to be awkward. We're not on high speed. Now it's just awkward for the sake of awkward.
That's why I said awkwardly long high five. Okay. So Matt got busy disassembling the workbench, and I got busy washing some jars. Okay. Most of this bench was put together using just screws, but he did have some glue to deal with on a few parts. Luckily though, not the top. And last up, Matt disassembled the deck frame. Meanwhile, I was cleaning and organizing over on my side. Then Matt got started building his first I-beam. This will be the main structural support piece for his whole build. So he marked everything for pre-drilling. Pre-drilled, added screws, worked out a drill bit issue, and connected the top and bottom to the center support stud. Then he repeated all of that for the second beam. And with that done, he could start installing the legs. Then he flipped it over for the other two legs. He's making sawhorses, something we desperately need.
Turn that thing up on its feet.
Okay.
So we can see what it looks like. I want to see. Woo-hoo.
That's a sawhorse.
That's a sturdy sawhorse. You are going to cut it down slightly, right?
Nope.
You're not going to cut it down at all?
Nope.
I mean, I guess that's alright.
I mean, I could.
No, it's alright. I mean, this is good. I can get like stuff on top because it's going to be like a 1/2 inch or whatever. And
But it is going to get braced up more than that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm talking height right now for me.
Yeah.
Short people problems, you know? And I will probably use these a healthy amount, so woohoo!
Woohoo!
Happy dance, happy dance. That's ridiculous. We're not in 2nd grade. Alright, nice.
Okay.
Yeah, now call it a day, because it's
I'm
freaking
going to.
hot, man.
I'm not even going to clean anything up.
Yeah, no, don't. We're going to turn off lights and until tomorrow, which is 1 YouTube second for you.
So the next thing I did, I got to work prepping the cutoffs that I'm planning to use for the shelves. These have been around for a while, so they're pretty beat up. First of all, I had to scrape off all these globules of joint compound, and I don't even want to talk about how this happened. It was a long time ago. But yeah, this was no easy task, let me tell you. They were stuck on there. Then I gave every surface a good sanding, and I think I used a 220 grit. It might have been a 180. This was a while ago, and since these are only workshop shelves, getting the finish right isn't quite as critical. While I worked on the shelves, Matt got busy adding bracing to the first sawhorse. He actually did all of the same stuff for the second sawhorse. We just didn't include any of that in the video because, you know, you've already seen it and that's kind of boring. You should be doing a happy dance. It looks great. These cutoffs were about 12 inches square, so I just ripped them in half using the miter saw. Again, since these are just for the workshop, they don't need to be any kind of level of perfection.
I do feel the power. It's very powerful.
Matt cut the studs down at an angle, though I'm not even sure what that exact angle was. He actually did this to match the angle of the legs, so these will be the side braces for his sawhorses. It's funny though, he's actually creating bracing for my project as well, but neither of us knew that yet. Matt attached the side braces, and then he could actually call his big project 100% done. The battery?
Yeah.
The camera battery?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant the drill battery was dead. That's all right. Camera battery dead at the exact right moment because these look amazing.
They're done.
Take them apart. Let's see them.
They're a little on the heavy side, but
Yeah, that's okay though. They'll be.
a little snug.
Yeah, well, that's fine. Plus, it's humid today. Nice. So how... Push them together all the way together, and then can you measure that? I just am curious, like, what that distance is.
Top to top or bottom to bottom?
Wide.
At the top.
Yeah. I don't care about the bottom.
26. Well,
That's
25.
That's not bad. So smaller stuff, obviously, we couldn't do on here, but like, that's okay. I have the table for smaller stuff. This is great. Now you've got two lovely sawhorses.
Almost looks like a picnic table.
It does indeed.
Yeah, they're sturdy, for sure. I'm very happy with how this turned out. Couldn't be happier.
I sanded the sawhorses using an 80 grit. That actually removed any loose chip out bits as well as most of the surface staining. Plus, I rounded all the edges so that they'd stack better and wouldn't jab into us. And then the minute I finished sanding, this happened. So after this dust storm, I started working on other projects and pretty much abandoned the workshop for a while. You might notice the dresser missing. I'll talk about that in a minute, but first, can we talk about how at the beginning of this video, I mentioned how hot it still was outside, but how now at this point, I'm in a fleece? Yeah, that was a span of about 3 weeks. Yep, just like that, it's finally fall in Phoenix. To paint this wall, I'm going to use this Bear chalk paint. This is a custom color. Normally I wouldn't use chalk paint on a wall, but I want to use this up before it's dead, and it's gonna kind of be the perfect backdrop color for my Halloween challenge piece. If you haven't seen that video yet, I will link it below. That turned out amazing. So I want something that it'll really pop from, and I'm gonna use my 1.5 inch angled purdy to cut in at the ceiling, then just a fabric
floppy fabric roller to roll the whole wall. I'm gonna get started. I already showed this off camera like about an hour ago. All right, let's go.
I waited about an hour and then came back in to do coat 2.
All right, let's go check it out. Not bad, 2 coats, looking good. These areas where I just kind of like feathered it off at the top and at the bottom here, I just didn't want to clean the whole garage right now. So since that's not a straight line, it should blend in pretty nicely with whatever I use on either side of that now. And if I want to paint the pegboard, I don't know. This is a work in progress, people. I'm gonna need to create some bracing, and this morning I had a humongous like moment because Matt just made these sawhorses, and these were the cutoffs. They are literally perfect. If I put them, let's get you centered here. If I put them like this, and this should be plenty of structural support. So yeah, pretty excited about that. I'm gonna get started on those.
I got measurements for the bracing piece that I planned to use between those studs for extra support. This was also a scrap piece. I had plenty for 4 and plus a little extra to boot. I made the cuts and everything looked pretty even, though again, I want to stress that that isn't my main priority. I am not building fine furniture here, it's just a spot for my plastic containers to hang out. Perfection, definitely not required. I vacuumed and Matt got the saw up off the floor.
You have reached the threshold. Sorry, it just seems like for the creepiness of the cabinet.
Since I still hadn't decided where to put the shelves, I moved the cabinet in first. With a little help from Mr. CCDIY, of course.
Cool.
Cool.
Woo-hoo. Thank you.
Done.
That's not our handshake.
That's not.
Well, that seems wrong somehow. I feel like we should be, but it's okay. I'm so excited.
Yay!
To have it back, honestly.
And now you can fill it up.
And I'm going to. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You couldn't even see it. Well, I mean, you could, but there we go. That would have been more like it. Okay, yeah, now I'm gonna fill it.
When I tell you this cabinet alone added 6 billion% more organization to my workshop, it's not even an exaggeration. Okay, maybe slight exaggeration, but I really forgot how much this thing stored until she was back in action. And while I was putting stuff away, I made a final decision on where I was going to install those shelves.
is the whole workshop right now. That's all right. You're already dusty. That's okay. Wait, is that my front? That's my front. Yep. Nice.
And the winning spot was here, near the garage door. I'm so happy with the way our workshop space is taking shape. Like I said, this room is a complete work in progress, but hopefully we'll make a lot more progress this winter. We have more storage to add, plus a few more tools or solutions to work into the mix. Plus, I'm thinking about painting a huge mural on the inside of the garage door. Let me know if you'd be into seeing that, or if you want an updated workshop tour. And go get subscribed if you're not already, that way you're not going to miss any of my future videos. Next week, I am taking the entire week off to spend time with my family because it's Thanksgiving here in the United States and I want to do some family time. But I will be back on November 30th doing the Unique Antique Challenge. I'm so excited to take part in this one. That one's hosted by Crystal over at the Crafty Creech and you are not going to want to miss it. But that's all I've got for you today. Hang in for a quick final tour around the workshop. Thanks so much for hanging out and watching. Later, peeps!
Oh, here come the choppers. I'm not really sure what's going on out there today. That's done, right? Is that all I actually need to say? I think it just might be.
So yeah, Matt and I actually have our own little weird lexicon, and we actually call a gimbal a gimli. Like, yep, the dwarf from Lord of the Rings, hence why we call it a dwarf.
I don't